So, yeah, it's 9/11 again. It's been 6 years since it initially happened, and yeah, everyone's kind of sharing their own remembrances of this thing and everything else. And well, I'm not gonna screw the trend, so I figured I'll share my own remembrances of it. It's more for me than for anybody else. Um, but yeah, so there was a phone call. Later, found out it was my brother. Woke my mother up, and she went downstairs to do whatever. And I heard her scream. I mean, it was terrifying. It was something like a rat had jumped out at her or something. And turns out it was actually her watching the towers come down. But I remember that being enough to get me up. I went rushing down, and and this is after the first tower had been hit, and I'm watching this with her. We're watching it burn and everything else, and everyone's saying, "Oh, it's an accident. It might be an accident." And I was kind of thinking the same thing, and I was very much having the same reaction probably everybody else in the nation was, which was shock and disbelief. And I remember watching that and being very surprised, to say the least. And then second tower got hit. I remember actually coming down I was just down just in time. I remember that second tower getting hit. I said, this is an accident. This is an attack. Something, somebody's coming after us. This is gonna be like the first wave. And I'm watching this, and definitely still shocked. And in spite of all this, my mom's telling me, listen, you can't, put everything on hold for us. You gotta go to class, because I was still going to college at TCNJ, College of New Jersey, actually. And I actually had a class on leadership. Ironic. With Dr. Sims. So my mom pushed me to get out the door and go to class. And I was driving down 295 towards 95. And listened to it on the radio, because I knew this is going to be one of those big things, and this is, and I remember passing a lot south, and I guess south, yeah, south, towards the college, and passing me going the opposite direction are a bunch of military vehicles, mostly trucks and transports, and I was kind of surprised by that. But I was surprised to see them on the road, but I wasn't surprised to see them because I knew what was going to happen. And so I got to class with Dr. Sims, and I remember going to class, and she was, we were watching in the communications building office, Kendall Hall, watching the towers burn and everything else. And we were sitting around talking about it, and she tried to hold a class, and she's talking about leadership and everything else. And I remember her very specifically saying, so they're saying that, okay, I did this, and it's Bin Laden and everything else. And she turns and she goes, "Is Bin Laden a good leader?" And playing devil's advocate, I said, "Yeah, he's an amazing leader. I mean, look what he's orchestrating. He's just taken out, the World Trade Center. He's attacked the, he landed a plane in the Pentagon. Jesus Christ, this guy's of course an amazing leader. He's not doing it towards good ends, but neither did Hitler. So, yeah, it's just amazing." So, I gotta say, I was kind of, that didn't help my popularity with the class, but I think it was a well-made point of leadership isn't a matter of the ends; it's a matter of the means and the capability of actually getting things done and getting people organized. I don't remember if we had other classes. I think they got canceled. I think if I recall correctly, the whole campus just got shut down. Massive memorial service the next day. Honestly, I really don't remember much else of that day. I remember my mother screaming, and I also remember her telling us to run out and get papers. She wanted us to get the newspapers for that day. she said that we're going to need those, and that we need copies of the papers for the following day, because it's going to be like, again, like JFK, and it's going to be a case of you'll want the documentation, you'll want to be able to show your kids and everything else, because probably microfiche won't exist anymore, and there'll be no records. And I said that's bullshit. Of course, there's gonna be records. You got the freaking internet, and that's not going away, not anytime soon, at least. And you'll have paper records, and books are gonna get written about this and everything else. But she wanted newspapers, so I remember running out and getting some newspapers for her, and she wanted to put them in memory boxes for my brother and myself. I think she might have put one away for her and my father, but don't hold me to that. Yeah, that was a crazy, crazy day. I remember a lot of people calling me, seeing if I was okay, which was kind of weird because I was near New York. I remember us worrying, Cameron and myself were worrying like freaking crazy for Alan. Remember that. Calls up to New York, checking on my aunts and uncles. Yeah, it was weird. My uncle Eddie was right near the towers when they came down, and he had to get the hell out of there and everything else. It was a mess. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess there's not much else for me to say. I mean, it's still kind of harrowing, and it's still kind of it's sort of like it happened yesterday, but in that sense of it was such a blur, I just don't really remember it. But the key things are still there, and they're still kind of etched. But I think it's the fallout from everything that's really getting to most people. And yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess this is just all what everybody makes of it at this point. But I wanted to deviate from everything else and just kind of express my point of view on this and share some memories. Godspeed. I don't have much else to say. So, hopefully, next posting will be a little more positive. Goodbye. Good night. Good luck.